we have a computer DVD disc, which we can draw a picture of. Say it looks like this. And it has a diameter of 4 5/8 inches. The center spindle region has a diameter of 1 5/8 inches in diameter. The question is, if you were to use a laser beam to read the disc, and the disc beam, say that, has a diameter of 1.15 micrometers, then how many total spots on the entire disc could the laser read? So, the key information that we need to consider in this problem is the diameter of the DVD, the diameter of the spindle region, and the diameter of the laser that is reading the disc. They tell us the area of a circle, and we're going to have to determine the area for all three of these. And we also need to consider the fact that we're looking at a total area, and we're going to have to divide it by the partial area that's being read in order to get the number of reads. We also need to focus on our units. Notice that these two diameters are given in inches, this diameter is given in micrometer, and the final answer is the number of gigareads. We've been given several conversion factors in order to help us out with this calculation. So let's start by reminding ourselves that we have the total size of the disc, we have the spindle region, and then we have the reading size of a laser. The entire diameter is 4 5/8 inches, while just the diameter of the spindle region is 1 5/8 inches, and the diameter of this spot is 1.15 micrometers, inches. Okay, so we're going to take this one step at a time. We need to know the area of the entire disc first. So we're going to use the equation area equals pi r squared, and we'll find it for the disc first. So you're going to have pi times, the radius is going to be 4 5/8 inches divided by 2, the diameter divided by 2 is the radius, and then we will square that. So when we type that in the calculator, we're going to type, I'm going to start with 4 plus 5/8 of an inch, so 5 divided by 8, and that gives me 4.625 inches. Then I'm going to divide that by 2, and then I'm going to square that value, and then I'm going to multiply it times pi. This gives me 16.800, and I want you to notice that it's inches squared. Inches squared. All right. Now we'll find the area of the spindle, which is pi times 1 5/8 inch divided by 2 squared. 1 plus 5/8, which is 1.625. We're going to divide that by 2. We're going to square that value, and then we're going to multiply that times pi. This gives us 2.074 inches squared. Now, I need just the space of the disc that the laser will read. So that is just from here to here, all the way around the disc. So I need to subtract out this spindle because it's not going to be a section where the laser is going to read. So I want to take the disc area, 16.800 inches squared, and I want to subtract the area of the spindle, 14.726 inches squared. Okay, now I know that this is the amount of the disc that's going to be read by the laser. I want you to also notice that our units are different because the area of the laser is going to be is in micrometers when we find it. So it's likely better if we go ahead and convert the 14.726 cubic inches, change that to meter squared, sorry, that's squared inches, change that to square meter, and we can later change this to meter also so that we'll be dealing in the same units. So I'm going to go ahead and convert my 14.726 inches squared, put it over 1. We'll go from inches to centimeters. It's going to be squared inches to square centimeters. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. That's going to have to get squared. Times, and we're going to go from centimeter to meter, square centimeters to square meters. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter, and we'll have to square that value as well. So we're going to get 14.726 times 2.54 squared divided by 100 squared, and that's going to equal 9.501 times 10 to the negative 3 meters squared. And that is going to be the total area of my disc being read. Now, we'll go ahead and find the area of the laser that we're using. So now, I'm going to take this 1.15 micrometers. Let's go ahead and change that into meters. 1.15 micrometers over 1. 1 times 10 to the 6 micrometers is equal to 1 meter. And so that'll give us 1.15 times 10 to the negative 6 meters. And that's going to be the diameter of the laser. So now I'm going to find the area of the laser, which is going to be equal to pi times 1.15 times 10 to the negative 6 meters divided by 2, because that's the diameter. We need the radius, and then squared. 1.15 times 10 to the negative 6, and that will be put in parentheses. And we'll divide that by 2, and then we're going to square that value, and then we're going to multiply that times pi. Okay, we get 1.039 times 10 to the negative 12. That's meters squared, and that's going to be the area of the laser. So now, if I want to know how many total reads can be made on this disc, basically you're looking at a whole divided by the part. And so I want to take the total disc and I want to divide it by the space of 1 read, and that's going to tell me the number of reads that we can have on the disc. So we'll take 9.501 times 10 to the negative 3 meters squared, and we'll divide that by 1.039 times 10 to the negative 12 meters squared. Okay, it gives us a very large number, 9144369586, and that's the number of reads. However, the answer wants to know how many gigareads can we have. And so if we want to convert the number of reads to gigareads, then we'd say the number of reads, and 1 times 10 to the 9 reads is equal to 1 gigaread. So I'm going to divide by 1 times 10 to the 9, and that's going to give me 9.1444 gigareads, which if we look at our answer choices, that would be letter C.